What's going on YouTube? My name is David, and in this video I will be talking about the features and gameplay of the PC multiplayer first-person shooter Insurgency to help you decide whether it is a game you should consider playing. I already have an Insurgency gameplay review on my channel, but I've gained so many new subscribers since that video who may have not seen the original review, so I thought I'd make another video now that Insurgency has had a standalone release for a little over a year now. It's rare that I dedicate more than one video review to a game, but Insurgency is unique enough that it deserves more video time on my channel. My subscribers know that I'm not paying full price for the map pack that is Battlefield Hardline. I'm still going to be playing Battlefield 4 because it has enough content and consistent updates to keep me interested until Battlefield 5 or Star Wars Battlefront, but I wanted to make a video about a game to play when you need a change of pace from the generally fast-paced gameplay you'll find in mainstream shooters like Battlefield and Call of Duty. Insurgency is only $15 on Steam and it goes on sale frequently, dropping its price to as low as $5. It was on the Humble Bundle sale once, and the community rose to over 1 million gamers during that stretch. Even though it costs a quarter of what a AAA studio new release costs, I have enjoyed Insurgency's gameplay more than many other games from large studios. Even though Battlefield Hardline hasn't launched yet, I can say with utmost confidence that Insurgency is a higher quality product and better value than Battlefield Hardline. Insurgency began as a Source Engine mod, but it was developed into a standalone game released by a small studio, New World Interactive. Because the game runs on the Source Engine, most everyone's PC, even laptops, should be able to run the game with acceptable frame rates. The game is multiplayer focused, with training as the only solo mode. You play on a team as either the insurgents or the PMCs trying to stop them. Insurgency offers a style of gameplay you won't see in a modern mainstream multiplayer shooter. The reason you won't see a game like Insurgency produced by a large studio is because it doesn't appeal to the casual gamer, the market from which they earn the most money. Insurgency requires a lot of dedication to learn how to play well. Compared to Twitch shooters, Insurgency plays methodically and at a relatively slow pace. It is a thinking man's game. The game places more importance on strategy and teamwork than an individual player's skill. Being really good at another multiplayer shooter or even shooters in general doesn't necessarily mean you'll find immediate success in Insurgency. Some skills like aiming will transfer over, but with how many game mechanics affect the firefights, you have to actively think about each combat maneuver you make. You will suffer from the slightest mistake. You die quickly and take a long time to respawn. Charging headfirst into firefights will get you gunned down. Your most successful engagements will come from behind cover. Before traversing open areas, you need to make sure the area is clear or your teammates have you covered. Insurgency has more realism-inspired gameplay elements than you'll find in most AAA games. Notice how I didn't say the game was realistic. Out of respect to those who have served in theater, no video game can realistically represent a combat experience. However, Insurgency does have elements of gameplay that simulate real-world firearms handling. The guns all have significantly more recoil than guns from the average shooter. Like in real life, fully automatic fire from an assault rifle is only useful to about 25 yards. Carefully aimed, spaced out shots are more effective than spraying and praying. It only requires 1 or 2 rounds to the torso or head to kill someone. Aiming also has a level of depth. Shooting without aiming, aka hip firing, is only useful to your arm's length. You have a standard aiming down sights option, but you can also hold shift to hold your breath and focus, which gives you a better view of your target, reduces reticle sway, and even blocks out distant sounds so you can better hear close range footsteps. Soldier fatigue also affects your aiming. After sprinting for a long distance, your reticle sways more, even when holding your breath. This discourages run and gun gameplay. Heavier guns like full-size rifles affect your soldier's sprinting fatigue more than carbines. The length of your gun also affects gameplay. With longer guns like the M16, you have to be farther away from cover before you can aim over it. With the Mark 18, you can move right up to barricades and corners and still aim over or around them. A very effective real-life tactic, suppressing fire, is a critical component of Insurgency's gameplay. When bullets land near you without hitting you, your screen becomes more blurry and your guns have more recoil to simulate the stress of taking fire. Again, this gameplay feature forces you to think more about your approach to gunfights and deters running and gunning. The only reason you see a kill feed in this video is because I'm playing on servers that have confirmed kill feeds to make it easier for the video viewers to see when I'm getting kills. Right now, I will transition to a gameplay clip that doesn't use kill feeds. At the end of the clip, try to guess how many kills I got. The game is punishing to new players. There is no HUD except for chat and objective indicators. There are no hit markers, and it's hard to identify enemy players because they won't have names or Doritos over their heads to show that yes, you are actually shooting at an enemy. Sometimes you won't know for certain that you even killed the enemy until you look at the scoreboard between rounds. It's up to your discretion whether it's safe to advance in the direction you were shooting. For new gamers playing Insurgency, I feel enemy detection is the hardest skill to learn. Friendly fire is enabled by default. However, there are some servers that try to be more accessible to new players where friendly fire is turned off. It goes without saying that teamwork is critical to success. More often than not, you will fail spectacularly if you try to play as a lone wolf. Players who aren't in tune with what their teammates are doing are a dead weight to the team and are just eating up reinforcement waves. There is no team deathmatch in Insurgency. All game modes revolve around an objective of some kind, like gaining control of territories, destroying targets, or killing VIPs. Some servers may have their own stat tracking method, but there is no client-side stat tracking, so you won't have anything to show from stat padding, but kill whoring in objective game modes. If you play Insurgency, your number one goal should be helping your team, not playing selfishly for personal highlights. The game mode that I play the most and what I feel most Battlefielders will have the easiest time transitioning to is push. For a lack of a better way to describe it, it's rush and conquest combined. The attacking team has to capture territories, and once they do, they get more reinforcement waves, and the next area of the map opens up. In all game modes, the time between when you can respawn could be as long as 35 seconds, or you might not be able to spawn at all if your team is out of reinforcement waves, so you quickly learn to value your lives. There are a lot of maps in distinct settings, but most of them will be in desert cities or villages. There are also nighttime variants of most maps. My personal wish is for most maps to extend the restricted zone around enemy spawns to prevent spawn camping. The game won't win any awards for its graphics, but there is a satisfying level of detail. I like how your gun barrel smokes after a sustained burst of fire. Also, if you look at my sniper rifle scope, you still maintain your whole field of view outside of the scope instead of having the area blacked out or zoom in with the scope. This is just like how scopes work in real life. Most other games don't have this graphical feature because it requires a lot of GPU power, but since Insurgency runs on the source engine, it won't strain your system too much compared to more modern engines. The game balances sniper rifles by only allowing 2 players per team to use the bolt actions. The reason I don't have better sniper clips is because it is rare that you get a clear shot. Mostly, you are only shooting at silhouettes or fast-moving targets. Since my sniping gameplay is on servers without kill feeds, most viewers won't recognize a lot of my shots as confirmed kills. Because there are only 2 bolt action snipers per team, you have to make efficient use of the class if you want to snipe. You can't just sit at the back of the map aiming down one line of sight. You have to cover your team taking objectives, or defend your objective if you're on defense. If you're not a good shot or a good objective player, then surrender the class to someone who is, or you're just holding your team back. Other weapons in the game are what you typically find in a military shooter. The PMCs use modern firearms with state-of-the-art enhancements, but the insurgents have shadowy assembled arsenals that include war-worn AKs and World War II weapons. However, the discrepancy in faction weapons is purely cosmetic, as the guns have similar performance in the game. There are attachments you can add like suppressors, optics, and forearms that subtly modify the weapon characteristics. Everything is unlocked from the beginning, so no one has an excuse for dying because the other players have better guns. One of my favorite features of Insurgency, and one that certainly increases game longevity and community involvement, is mod support. You can give your character or guns new skins for free, where you would have to pay for premium in other games. The Tan M16 and Mark 18 are weapon mods I downloaded, and I replaced the Beretta with the H&K USP and the M14 with the Kel-Tec RFB. The skeleton gloves are a character mod I downloaded. All of the mods are available for free on the Steam Workshop. The developers are constantly supporting the game. They listen to community feedback about gameplay and balance improvements. It is very likely that the development team is working on PS4 and Xbox One versions of Insurgency. Unfortunately, mod support is unlikely on console versions due to the strictness of the PlayStation and Microsoft Store. In summary, Insurgency has a lot of game for the money and has more content depth than many full-price AAA studio releases. Some gamers will be dissuaded from trying Insurgency due to its steep learning curve and inherently hardcore gameplay, but those who invest the time in learning the intricacies of Insurgency's gameplay mechanics will experience some of the most satisfying multiplayer gameplay in a modern first-person shooter. Thank you very much for watching this video all the way through. It is very reassuring that I'm doing something right with my reviews if I can keep someone interested from beginning to the end. Please leave a like rating if I was informative and subscribe to my channel for all things PC gaming. My name is David and I will see you next video.